Welcome to Hoda's Career Info. I am your host Hoda, and this is the channel for everyone seeking career knowledge. It is enough for me to look at Anna Gordon's profile photos and posts across social media and on her website to get me smiling and energized to move on to my next task. Her company's name, Strut for Success, just makes me want to get up and dance. Anna is a career strategist and mindset coach. She is on a mission to help people lead, laugh, and level up in their careers and lives. Most days, you can find her in her office, drinking coffee and scribbling down ideas for the greater good. I can guarantee you that Anna has many other talents that bring her career services to the next level. Join me to learn more and to get energized about your career. Welcome, Anna Gordon, and thank you so much for joining me. Anna, you and I met on Twitter some years ago, and I just want to start with that because I want to highlight how fun your Twitter account is, but also how it always inspires me and motivates me to get going. So I want to encourage everyone listening or watching this to check out Anna Gordon's Twitter account because you're missing out on some very creative, motivational posts. Right away, we're going to start with talking about your professional title. You call it Career Strategist and Mind Coach. I want to focus on the mindset coach. I want to focus on the mindset coach. Do you mind elaborating on what you mean by mindset coach and how this title helps you differentiate your services in the career industry?
For sure. Well, as we've discussed before, certainly in career development, there are many different specialties, many different approaches. And so what I do now is kind of born out of a history of, I used to focus very much on career planning and more traditional career coaching, but my biggest specialty was resume design. And over the years, after working with different people and just through my own experience, I shifted in this direction. It's actually born out of two things. One would be the fact that my own personal journey, I refer to myself as a recovering perfectionist. And I'll let you know why that's a factor in a moment. And the second is just noticing a trend with a lot of the people I worked with over the years that regardless of tools or, a lovely resume or, things that we could give them, if they were really stuck in a specific type of mindset, it was challenging for them to move forward. And so I really started to delve more into the exploration of mindset and learning more about different types. And so to make it easy, I sort of tell people I focus on these two different types of mindset. So one would be the fixed mindset. That's us perfectionist type people. We're very focused on it's a pass or fail, win or lose, very motivated by the perfect outcome, the cheese, the reward, that sort of thing. But what I'm trying to do and what I'm hoping to get many clients to do is to embrace more of that growth mindset, where instead of using an experience as a pass or fail opportunity, we use it as a chance to really look about what we learned and then use that information to either move forward in our journey or course correct, move right or left. It's about being a little more flexible rather than just there's one right path, one destination, and that's it. And if we don't get it right, we've made a mistake. And so that's really how that developed.
And I get the impression that you do it in a fun way because the name of your company, Strut for Success, every time I think about it and read it, I truly just want to get up and, do a strut walk, which I'm not very good at. But I get that feeling that you do it in fun way. And because also you have what you call a formula for success, lead, laugh, level up. Again, it sounds like a fun mission and one that definitely promotes a successful career vision. So can you share with the audience some details about the name of your company, Strut for Success, that I love, your reasons for starting that company, and of course, the career vision, the lead, laugh, level up.
All right. Well, the name was really developed sort of out of this feeling. And so I know sometimes people think the word strut is attached to arrogance, and that's not about it at all. It's that we know the difference. There's a difference between when we walk and then when we have that, when we start to strut a little bit and we feel confidence and we sort of have that unshakable belief that we're moving in the right direction, or that we can achieve and we can accomplish things. So it was really about a rebranding to embrace that mindset aspect of my business and the direction I was wanting to head towards. And so the idea of lead, laugh, and level up is really about embracing that growth, that possibility mindset. Lead, because I really believe strongly in leadership regardless of title. I think everyone can embrace leadership in some form, and that really is a game changer for a lot of people. It opens up a lot of possibilities. Laugh, I think we should have more fun with our work. I mean, my goodness, we spend a really good portion of our lives dedicated to work, so why not have fun? Why not look at ways that we can make it a little more interesting or more human, or certainly, and a big one for most people, more meaningful? And that's to embrace the fun part. And then level up, again, that belief part. Leveling up doesn't always necessarily mean going upwards in position. For some people it can. They come to me because they want to look at career advancement in terms of a title, a status move, that sort of thing. And certainly there's nothing wrong with that, but you can also level up in other ways. Leveling up could be about, embracing that, again, that leadership mindset where you're taking charge to find solutions to make your workday better, to make it a better workplace, to add to a better work culture, to be more focused on solutions and bringing ideas instead of, holding back. And I think that's where a lot of dissatisfaction happens for a lot of people. They hold back because they're not valuing their own gifts and their own values. So they think they're not worthy enough to bring to the table. Meanwhile, we need more people to come to the table and bring all of the lovely things they have. And so I think if we can embrace all of those pieces, we're going to find far more productive work environments, but people who are happier at work and are finding, new ways to contribute and to themselves and to a bigger team goal, perhaps.
Well, you mentioned not worthy. And again, on your website, you talk about how you help your clients overcome imposter syndrome. And I see it and I'm like, this is so far off from you, who's always fun and outgoing. And so how it's a big topic, in the imposter syndrome that we, particularly as women, like we really struggle with, and very important topic to talk about. So how do you support your clients, and I imagine in a fun way, to kind of overcome the imposter syndrome?
I think, and we want to say, let's dig into a textbook and make it very serious, but I think it's initially in finding the fun, finding that nugget of, okay, so out of your entire workday, what's the thing that gives you that spark, and then learning how to build upon that. And also in recognizing that maybe that little spark that we devalue is your piece of genius that you can bring to your work. We tend to, and I know this is probably something you see a lot as well. We tend to really devalue or completely overlook our natural gifts. We just, it's just something I do. Meanwhile, it's not something that everybody does. It's something maybe we do very well. And so as we value that, again, we expand and we open the possibilities. So when we talk about imposter syndrome, again, sometimes it's switching that mindset of, well, who am I? Who am I? A lot of people will sort of tell me their goal and then apologize for it in the same breath. well, I want to do this, but I don't really have this or that qualification, or, or someone's more qualified, or this person's more dynamic or more interesting, or whatever it is. And so, again, it's really coming back to honoring that person, what they value, what they bring to the table, and then how we can, put that together and come back and share that, and recognize that in the sharing, not the restricting, is where we find that growth. But it takes courage, right? It takes courage to say, okay, I'm putting myself out there and let's see what happens, right? So even if we're not happy about it, the restriction keeps us safe.
Well, with your support, I'm sure that just making it fun will help your clients move forward. And another thing that you have as well that is unique, and that Gallup researchers usually highlight, that career well-being is one of the 5 well-being elements to lead a thriving life. And my earbuds fell, but we can continue. I'm going to read the equation so I don't mess it up. Strategy plus mindset plus wellness equals career satisfaction plus life success. A very good equation that I totally agree with, but I would like to hear it from your side. And how do you support your clients to become mindful of this unique equation?
For sure. It's kind of tricky. It's funny that I have listed it as the strategy first, and then the mindset, and then the wellness. And it's almost, I say tricky because I've articulated it that way because that's safe. People feel safe saying I've come for career strategy. But the other pieces feel a little, it's needed, but it feels a little on the outside of that, when really I start in the opposite direction. So strategy is where we're heading, but I actually start off with wellness. So, when somebody first comes to me and they tell me about, they're feeling terrible or this or that, and, they give me their story, and then we stop and we come back and, okay, so let's put that on hold for a minute. What do you do in a day to, what kind of things do you enjoy? And it stops people cold. And so for a good example will be, somebody will share that they're very unhappy or they're frustrated. And then we find out that they have been, spending 6, 7, 8, 9 hours straight at a computer every day. So, right away, wellness is something we need to address. And I think given the current circumstance, we are talking about it more, but for many years we didn't. It was just the idea of, somehow that busyness equaled productivity, and that's not necessarily the case. We can be very effective and productive and impactful, and more so, I believe, when we start with wellness, which then gives us that energy to maybe move into that shifting of the mindset, the opening, the expanding, the belief that maybe we can look at different opportunities or solutions or contributions. And then those things are really what's going to put fuel on the fire of our strategy and our career goals. So I actually believe it starts in that opposite direction: wellness, mindset, and then we move into strategy.
I get it, because for me, because I think of logical things, and I would say probably have a plan, then you'll be happy, then you can go. So there's that, who you're targeting, I think. It can go either way. Like you said, you can always start with the wellness. Once they start talking to you, it does make sense. Absolutely. And when we talk about wellness, I know from your Twitter posts that you used to teach Zumba. I don't know if you're still doing that, but were you going to tell us? And you were certified not only as a fitness instructor, but also as a licensed Zumba fitness instructor. And so can you tell me a little bit about the importance of Zumba in your personal journey, but also if and how you use it to support your clients, your Strut for Success clients?
Right. Well, I mean, I'd be lying certainly if I said that, Strut wasn't born out of that whole experience of teaching Zumba and teaching fitness classes, because again, Strut very much comes from that movement, right? That confident movement and action, quite physically in our bodies. So it very much influenced what I do now. Zumba really came from a time when I was very, very focused on my work and my career, but I realized I needed to take care of my wellness. So I had started doing some training and some other stuff. And then I landed into this, I heard about this new Zumba craze, and I thought, okay, I'll try this class, let's see. And then I loved it because I'm the only person in my family who dances. So it gave me a wonderful outlet to be able to dance, do something I enjoy, but not feel guilty, you know, that I was somehow excluding my family, right? Because I could do it as an individual. And then over time, my instructor had approached me and said, you ever thought about teaching it? And I said, you know what, the longer I've been here, the more I had considered it. So I did eventually work up the courage and get my Zumba license. And then from there, I really became interested in how it was affecting the wellness of my students. And I wanted to make sure that I was really committing to their physical health, that when they were coming to a class, they weren't going to be injured. And that's when I invested in actually becoming a certified fitness instructor specialist. So, and that was, again, a whole process that was not only good for my students, but it really challenged me. I did that, I think it was right before I turned 40 or just after I turned 40. So I was in a course with a bunch of people who were half my age and very shiny and new and very buff looking. And, you know, it was me with my streak of gray in my hair and daring to take this on, but I did it. And again, it expanded my belief about what I could do and who I was. And I came back and gave that to my students. And that whole process certainly influenced the career development side of my work, because I often, when I'm speaking to groups, I'll talk about being at the front of a fitness studio or a classroom, and there's really this interesting instructor's view, and I could quite visibly see people would come in and the shoulders are slumped forward and you could just feel the weight of the day on them. And so they would do their best to drag themselves through the door, and you could see slowly, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, all of a sudden the shoulders are coming up and the light's coming back into the face again. And about halfway through, whatever was weighing on them from their workday or, you know, personal concerns, whatever it might be, it was being lifted just by moving their bodies. And that, again, is why wellness for me is such an important foundational tool in career development right now, because I think without that, you know, getting that movement, that actual physical movement of our bodies, it's hard to build the energy we need to make all of these other changes that we're trying to make.
I certainly can relate to that. And I'm probably one of those who would come in with the drooped shoulders and leave at the end, because I love the music. I love that most of it, at least when I used to do it, it was Latin, and it just really gets you going and motivated to move forward. So I can see you teaching it for sure.
Well, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say it was a wonderful experience, and actually where I'm feeling that sympathy with how work lives have been altered for a lot of my clients. I have a greater understanding when it comes to the Zumba part. For myself, and I was speaking with another career professional about this, that was such a lovely part of my life, and it really fueled a lot of my other work. But although there's an option to do it virtually and that sort of thing right now, it just doesn't fuel me the same way. And so there is a bit of feeling that loss and disconnect from something that gave me great energy. And so trying to channel that in different ways until perhaps it becomes possible to do it in that way again, or until it becomes something else. But just that little piece for anybody who may be watching this and who's feeling a loss of whatever it is from, you know, whatever was something, part of their regular life that's now been altered, or part of their work life that they enjoyed that's been altered, and they're having to adapt in a different way. Just, you know, we see you and we hear you, and we've all got something that has affected us, and we're learning to adapt, and it's okay.
Absolutely. Like we need to stay optimistic. That is important. And that's a very good way of looking at it. Yeah. Like there's nothing like you and me meeting in person would definitely make it a lot more fun, but we're doing great and what we can, and just staying positive. I really enjoyed having you a part of this episode, Anna. And was there one more thing you want to add, or anything that you would have liked me to ask you but didn't?
I think I might just leave with this, just sort of along the lines of, what we were just discussing about, looking at new ways to adapt and still, feel positive and, think of different things. As I shared with you earlier, I had been in the process of working on some new things for my own website, and I was excited. I had a new wellness challenge I was going to start for everybody, and I had reached out to some contacts and built new web pages and had some wonderful social media posts about it. And then, life changed again. We started to head into this third wave, and people were starting to feel this heaviness again. And although I certainly believe that, yes, I would tell anybody, make sure you're getting movement into your day and you're doing something. Somehow the notion of I won't say making them, but encouraging them to sign up for a challenge then it sort of felt like I was giving people more homework at a time when they were feeling that overwhelm again. And so, again, I guess the point I'm trying to make is, it's going to be an ongoing process of adapting and changing. And some days something will work, and maybe a week later we'll discover, okay, maybe that doesn't work right now, but that's okay. So you're not failing, you're not doing it wrong. We're all just sort of, riding in this ship, and we're not sure exactly when we're going to arrive on land, but we hope it's soon. And just do the best that you can, and just keep going with it and being kind to yourself in the process.
Thank you, Anna. This is very good and very timely advice, I think, for all of us. And yes, follow Anna on Twitter. Check her account, Anna Gordon at Strut for Success, and you will get more of these inspirational and motivational quotes.
Thanks, I promise Anna. To be wildly entertaining.
Well, you're definitely motivational, so you don't push people, you motivate them, and that's what I love about your posts.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for joining me and Anna Gordon in this amazing chat. I hope you got energized to embrace the challenge mindset that Anna shared. You have to follow Anna on Twitter if you are looking for regular motivation. But you can also find her on LinkedIn and Facebook, or you can connect with her on her website, Strut with the number 4, Success, or strutforsuccess.com. I am your host, Hoda, and until next time, I hope you keep moving forward.